From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 12th, 2019. Violence broke out today at the Temple Mount. Israel police said that a Molotov cocktail was thrown by Palestinians at a police position at the holy site in Jerusalem's Old City, forcing them to shut it down. An Israeli border policewoman was treated for mild smoke inhalation. 10 Palestinians were arrested in connection with the attack and disturbances at the site. Jerusalem Police Commissioner Doron Yadid visited the Temple Mount and ordered it evacuated today and closed in order to conduct searches for other weapons. Police later said they found several containers with flammable materials as well as fireworks and more Molotov cocktails at the site. The temporary closure today was condemned by Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, who threatened repercussions. And terror group Hamas called on Palestinians to come to the holy site to protest the decision. Tensions between Israeli security forces and Muslim worshippers at the Temple Mount have been quite high for the last 2 weeks, since repeated attempts by some worshippers to force their way into an entrance to the site known as the Gate of Mercy, which was sealed off by Israel in 2003 because of issues with the Islamic organization that administers the site, the Waqf, including that they associated with Hamas. A Palestinian man tried to stab an IDF soldier today in the West Bank. Sharing a photo of the weapon, the IDF spokesperson's unit said soldiers stationed in Hebron spotted the terrorist running towards them with a knife and shot him as he tried to run into a nearby civilian building. The terrorist was killed. Shortly after that incident, a Palestinian woman walked up to the IDF post at the location of the attempted stabbing, raising the suspicion of Israeli troops who found a knife in her possession and arrested her. Later today, Palestinians threw rocks at an Israeli vehicle at the Gitai junction in the West Bank, lightly injuring the driver. And last night, also in the West Bank, unidentified gunmen opened fire at an Israeli vehicle, possibly a military vehicle, near the Jewish settlement of Rechelim. There were no injuries there, but the vehicle sustained damage. IDF forces were searching the area for those responsible. Well, the man who murdered 4 people at the Jewish Museum in Brussels almost 5 years ago was sentenced today to life in prison. Mehdi Nemouche shot and killed Israeli couple Emmanuel and Miriam Riva, as well as a French woman and a Belgian man in less than 90 seconds on May the 24th of 2014. Nemouche is a French national who was born in Algeria and spent a year fighting with radical Islamists in Syria before coming back to Europe. A Brussels court said the 33-year-old had shown no regret for his actions. The World Jewish Congress and its affiliate, the Organization of Jews in Bulgaria, Shalom, led a march this weekend through the streets of Sophia. Some 1,500 people took part in the first ever March of Tolerance and Unity there, which was held in response to the neo-Nazi Lukov March that takes place in the city each February. World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder went to Sophia for the historic gathering Sunday. Joining local Bulgarian leaders, he said, "Today in Sophia, you have all sent a clear message to those participating in the Lukov March. You have said no to modern-day Nazis. You have said no to hatred. You have said no to divisions in our society." Hall of Fame drummer Hal Blaine has died. Blaine was a session drummer, a member of the Los Angeles-based studio band The Wrecking Crew. According to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Blaine played on 40 #1 hits among the thousands of songs that he played on, including those of Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and the Beach Boys, whose co-founder Brian Wilson, upon hearing of Blaine's passing, called him the greatest drummer ever. Hal Blaine died yesterday at his home in Palm Desert, California, of natural causes. He was 90. A brand new Holocaust museum opened this week in Macedonia. The multi-million-dollar 3-story building commemorates the almost complete decimation of the Balkan nation's Jewish population during the Holocaust. Over 98% of the 8,000 Jews of Macedonia were killed by the Nazis and their collaborators. The funding for the museum came from restitution money paid in 2000 by the government to the local Jewish community. Macedonian Prime Minister Zoran Zaev attended the ceremony, as did World Jewish Congress Executive Vice President Robert Singer, who said at the event the museum is a warning to remind us what can happen when evil goes unchecked. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, March the 12th at 7 o'clock. It's episode 4 of the award-winning Israeli series A Touch Away. At 8, Israeli feminist icon Alice Shalvi reflects on her life's journey, which she describes in her memoir, Never a Native, in a program of the Marlene Meyerson JCC of Manhattan, Lilith Magazine, and the New Israel Fund at B'nai Jeshurun in New York City. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with pioneering feminist Letty Cotton Pogrebin. At 10, author and professor Fania Oz Salzberger talks about the role of women in Jewish life from the Shalom Hartman Institute. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, it's Insight to Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 12th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.